Hello, my name is Kyran, and I live in Funabashi, Chiba. I come from the country of Trinidad and Tobago, two islands, but one country. A question I always have to answer when I tell people that I come from Trinidad is it in Africa? Which is a reasonable question because of the way I look. But no, Trinidad is not in Africa. Trinidad and Tobago are islands in the Caribbean. They are right next to Venezuela. So they're between Venezuela and Barbados. There are other islands in the Caribbean as well, like Jamaica, Cuba, Turks and Caicos, US Virgin Islands. Those are all islands in the Caribbean. So Trinidad is a 6 hour flight to New York and a 4 hour flight to Miami. So we are always hot and tropical. So for my video, I just wanted to talk about a couple interesting things related to coming from Trinidad and Tobago. Um, we are very unique in that we are an island, we are small, but we are very culturally diverse. So, because of the history of Trinidad, where some people were brought over to Trinidad voluntarily and others were brought over by force, we have a very diverse population. So, you could have people who are interracial in any number of ways, mixed with black, white, Indian, Chinese, Syrian, Lebanese, but no Japanese actually. There aren't that many Japanese people in Trinidad. I don't think I ever met a Japanese person in Trinidad. So, yeah, that's maybe one of the few. But otherwise, I grew up in a country where there were lots of different people. And in my family, my mother's family and my father's family alone, in my heritage, I have black, white, and Indian and Chinese. So it's fairly common in Trinidad for kids to come from different looking families. So one of the big differences for me when I moved to Japan was to be in a place where everybody was Japanese. When back home, like I had friends who all looked so different from me. Because of our mixture of different cultures and people, we have created our own language called the Trinidad English Creole. A lot of people in Trinidad think that they speak English, but we speak English that's a bit different because it borrows different aspects from our African or Indian heritage to mix with English and create its own language. So, for example, most people know the word avocado in English. We know what an avocado is. But in Trinidad English Creole, we would say it's a zaboka. So it's just an entirely different word for avocado. So it's its own unique language, Trinidad English Creole. And that's very common in countries that have experienced colonialism when there are lots of different cultures that mix. For these people to communicate, they sometimes create their own language, and Trinidad is no exception. That being said, our official language is English. It's the language that we use for government. It's the language that we use in school. It's the language that is used in any official capacity. So, English is the official language because we have a complicated history of once being a Spanish territory where Spanish was the dominant language. Then we were a French colony and French was the dominant language. And then we became an English colony and therefore English became the dominant language. So English is the official language and it is the language that is used in any important way in Trinidad, even though Trinidad English Creole might be the language used in everyday speech. But because of our history, that's just the way it is. Trinidad is also unique in that it is one of the few places that has created a new musical instrument in the last 100 and let's say 20 years or so. The steel drums or the steel pan, they come from Trinidad and Tobago. It's not a very popular instrument, I suppose, but I often hear it when I listen to pop music. Sometimes in the background, I would hear it. Trinidad also is the inventor of limbo. I know limbo, like you go down limbo. Yeah, yeah, that came from Trinidad. But other countries that are bigger and had like more tourism, they took it and they made it into their own. So people don't really know that that's where it came from. But yeah, we basically created limbo. We also have our own music. Calypso music comes from Trinidad and it has its daughter, soca music, which is a bit more popular now. But yes, calypso music is music that would normally talk about social issues happening in Trinidad and Tobago. And soca music is more dance music for us. And we have an international soca music competition, and one year we did have a Japanese, she had to compete in several rounds and she ended up making it into the finale. And well, yeah, good for her. She didn't win but she did really well to have gotten as far as she did. Thank you so much for watching my little video. If you're interested in hearing anything more from me, please follow me on Instagram. I'll link my Instagram here so you could see it. You could follow me on Instagram. Thank you so much and please have a really nice day. Bye bye.